Haruto Tanaka stepped off the train into a drizzle that felt personal. At 22, he had a degree in business administration that apparently translated to unemployable in the current market, a mountain of loans, and now this absurd inheritance. The lawyer had been blunt. Great Uncle Hiroshi's will stipulated that Haruto must live full-time at Willow Court Apartments for 5 years and keep it maintained. No selling. No absentee landlord nonsense. Do it, and the building, plus a modest trust for repairs, was his. Fail, and it defaulted to the city for demolition. Haruto had met Hiroshi once, at age 10, at a family funeral. The old man had slipped him a caramel and whispered, "Life's too short for bad real estate." Then he'd vanished back into obscurity. Now Haruto stood before Willow Court, a 4-story brick relic from the 1970s, vines crawling up the sides like nature trying to reclaim it. Prime location, 10 minutes from 3 universities and a major subway line, but the facade screamed budget cuts. He dragged his duffel up the cracked steps and turned the key. The lobby light flickered on like it resented being woken. 4 women stared at him. The tallest had black hair and a messy bun, paint streaked across one cheek, and a tank top clinging to her frame from what looked like a long day of creation. Aiko Nakamura, 21, art major. Her arms were crossed under her chest, emphasizing curves she didn't seem to care about hiding. Next to her, a woman in a rumpled blazer and pencil skirt, Mika Sato, 25, rubbed her temples. Office lady, perpetually exhausted. Her blouse had one extra button undone, revealing a hint of lace bra strap, probably from loosening it the second she left work. Pink-haired Rin Takahashi, 20, lounged on the ratty couch in shorts and an oversized gaming tee that slipped off one shoulder. Headphones dangled around her neck. She was mid-bite of a convenience store onigiri. The quiet one, Sora Hayashi, 22, stood half in shadow near the stairs. Hoodie up, earbuds in, posture defensive. She watched him like he might explode. "You're the new owner?" Aiko asked, voice sharp. Haruto nodded, trying not to stare at the way her tank top rode up slightly when she shifted. "Haruto Tanaka. Inherited it. I'm not raising rent or anything. I just have to live here." Mika sighed. "We've heard that before." Rin grinned. "He looks harmless. Bet he mains support classes." Sora said nothing. Haruto cleared his throat. "I'll be in the manager's unit downstairs. If anything needs fixing, let me know." Aiko snorted. Everything needs fixing. He escaped upstairs, heart pounding for reasons he couldn't quite name. The building was alive with complaints. Pipes sang at night. The shower in Aiko's unit dripped into Mika's ceiling. Rin's high-powered PC rig kept tripping breakers. Haruto started small. He bought sealant, a ladder, and cheap tools. First up, Aiko's studio. She opened the door in paint-splattered shorts and a cropped tee, midriff bare, a streak of blue across her stomach like war paint. "You again." "Leak," he said, pointing up. "Won't take long." She stepped aside. The room smelled of turpentine and creativity. Canvases everywhere, bold colors, emotional strokes. One caught his eye. A woman alone in rain, face half hidden. He climbed the ladder. She watched from below, arms crossed, pushing her chest up unintentionally. "You don't have to stare," he muttered. "You're in my space," she shot back. But her tone softened when he patched the crack without complaint. Sweat made his shirt cling. She bit her lip. When he climbed down, their bodies brushed. She didn't move back immediately. Her breath was warm on his neck. "Thanks," she said quietly. Her fingers grazed his arm, deliberate. "You're handy." Haruto swallowed. "Any time." Later, on the kitchen table, a sketch of him on the ladder, muscles exaggerated, heroic pose. A tiny heart in the corner. No signature. Mika came home at 11 p.m., heels clicking. She dropped her bag and kicked off her shoes, groaning. Her skirt rode up as she stretched. Haruto had curry simmering, his mother's recipe. She froze in the doorway. "You cooked?" "Figured you could use it." He plated some. She sat, blouse half unbuttoned from the commute heat. Lace peeked out. She caught him looking and smirked instead of covering up. "This is good," she murmured, leaning forward so her cleavage pressed against the table edge. "You're spoiling me." "Just neighborly." She reached across, fingers brushing his. "Keep spoiling me, Haruto. I might get used to it." Their eyes locked. Heat rose. Rin burst in. Food! Landlord-kun is husband material! Haruto nearly dropped the ladle. Help yourself, Rin. Aiko's past came out in pieces. One rainy afternoon, she was in her studio, staring at a blank canvas. Haruto knocked. Art block? He asked. She laughed bitterly. My parents cut me off, said art was wasting potential. I was supposed to be in business school, marry some salary man, pop out kids. Instead, I ran away here. Cheap rent, space to paint. But sometimes I wonder if they were right. Haruto sat on the floor. Show me what you've got. She did. Sketches of isolation, anger. He listened, suggested small changes. By 2 a.m., color returned. She straddled the stool backward to face him, shorts riding high. You don't judge. Why would I? She leaned in, lips inches from his. Because most guys see tits and ass and stop listening. Haruto's pulse raced. I see you. Her hand slid up his thigh, slow, testing, stopped just short. Careful what you say, landlord. I might believe you. Mika came home later that evening. She seemed depressed and needed a shoulder to lean on. She opened up during a midnight kitchen talk. She was happily married once. She enjoyed being the housewife. However, her fiancé cheated on her. Mika threw herself into work to prove she was enough. Now she is 25, burned out, and terrified of being alone. Haruto listened while she drank wine he'd bought. Her blouse slipped off one shoulder. She didn't fix it. You're the first man in years who doesn't want something from me right away, she whispered. He brushed hair from her face. Fingers lingered on her cheek. She pressed closer, breasts soft against his arm. If I kissed you now, would you stop me? I'd ask if you're sure. She traced his collarbone. I'm not sure of anything except that I want to feel wanted. They hovered on the edge, lips brushing, breaths mingling. Then she pulled back with a shaky laugh. Not tonight, but soon. Sometime after, Haruto checked in on Rin. She offered a controller and wanted him to play with her. Rin's story spilled during that late-night stream session. She'd been a top high school gamer, scouted for esports. Pressure broke her. Dropped out, moved here to stream casually. Fans loved her energy, but she felt like a fraud. After, she hugged him from behind while he sat at her desk, breasts pressed into his back. You make me feel real, she murmured, lips near his ear. Her hand slid down his chest, teasing the waistband of his sweats. Want to see how real I can get? He caught her wrist, gently. Rin. She pouted, grinding subtly against him. Tease. Sora's reveal came on the roof. Bruises faded but visible. Haruto didn't ask outright. She spoke first. My family owns a company. I'm the perfect daughter, or was, until I said no to an arranged marriage. They persuaded me otherwise. She showed him a scar on her wrist. I left. This place was supposed to be temporary. Haruto sat close. It's not anymore. She leaned into him. Her hoodie slipped, soft skin against his arm. Her hand found his, guided it to her waist. Touch me, she whispered, so I know it's safe. He did slow circles on her hip. She shivered, pressing closer, thigh sliding over his. Heat built, lips hovered. Not yet, she breathed. But thank you for waiting. Daily life turned electric. Shared laundry. Aiko accidentally dropped a bra in his basket, later modeling it in her doorway. Think it suits me? Mika started wearing shorter robes at night, bending to pick things up slowly. Rin sat on his lap during movie nights, wiggling for the best view. Sora let him hug her from behind while cooking, her back arching into him. Jealousy sparked, Aiko glaring when Mika got too close, Rin pouting at Sora's quiet intimacy. But it fueled banter and competition. One night, power outage. Candles. Truth or dare. Aiko dared Haruto to give her a shoulder massage. Her moans were deliberate, body rocking back. Mika dared him to whisper something dirty in her ear. He did. She bit her lip hard. Rin dared a lap dance, her grinding slow, teasing. Sora dared him to hold her all night. They cuddled on the couch, her leg between his, hips pressed tight. No one crossed the line, but the air crackled. The offer came. Big money to demolish Willow Court for luxury condos. If Haruto wouldn't accept, they would tear the place down. Haruto stared at it. The girls found out. They were overwhelmed. Panic, anger, determination. Aiko made posters, sexy emotional art. Rin streamed Save Our Home marathons, teasing fans with, "If we lose this, no more Landlord-kun cameos." Mika dug into legal loopholes. Sora gathered signatures, voice steady now. They worked late, bodies close, touches lingering longer. City Hall hearing. Haruto spoke. "This isn't just property. It's 5 people building something real." The girls backed him, passionate, united. They won. Roof celebration. Beer. Laughter. A blissfulness shone through them all that they all got to stay together. Aiko straddled his lap, kissing his neck. "Our hero." Mika pressed against his side, hand on his thigh. "We owe you." Rin nuzzled his ear. "Big rewards later." Sora took his hand, guided it under her shirt to bare skin. "All of us." Haruto looked at them, flushed, wanting his. "I don't know how this works," he admitted. Aiko smirked. "We'll teach you." Mika. "No rush." Rin. "But soon." Sora. "We're not going anywhere." The city lights glittered below. Willow Court creaked above. Nothing was decided. Everything was possible. To be continued.